start with The Last Tycoon. This is not your first time doing a period piece. What is it about going into another era that's magical for you?
It's the unknown. I wasn't around during that time, and I love to do research on a different period of history. And for me, the idea that 1930s is so glamorous and a lot of what was going on underneath the surface was not glamorous is really interesting. And it's the stories behind the stories which really fascinate me. And my character gets to do things that I didn't even know were happening in the 1930s. So I get to experience it in a whole new way.
I have great stories. Got one about this band leader who's
I'm
going
excited to hear it after you've graduated.
Costumes are key to creating any character, but especially in a period piece. And for me, this 1930s piece, Janie Bryant is an absolute genius, and I get to play around and emulate this young woman during a period where it was very glamorous, but also it was on the tide of, strong women and feminism taking over, and you get to see that change and evolve with the costumes, which is really interesting.
All right, ready? $2.80 for the pork, $3.50 for the buttered noodles.
Now to a
$1.50
very
for
different
the roll,
subject,
and
to the bone. What attracted you to that material?
My experience with eating disorders was something that I have just recently been speaking about, and I was just writing my chapter in my book about my experiences a week before I got this script, and it's something that I feel is so important to talk about, especially because it's becoming more and more prevalent in today's society with men, women, everyone of all ages, and no one's like to talk about it. And it's something that I think is extremely important, and this movie hopefully will prompt a lot of conversation.
I just don't see the point. People say they love you, but what they mean is they love how loving you makes them feel about themselves.
I think you can learn a lot. I think it's not isolated to just women. Males go through it as well. It's not just a case of vanity. I think that's a common misconception, that it's just about being thin enough or looking a certain way, and that's not the case. And also just the idea that you're never alone in your struggles, and seeking help is not a weakness, it's a strength.
Did you just say something optimistic?
I did say semi.